Hello and welcome to the Next 100 Days podcast. My name is Graham Arrowsmith.
And my name's Kevin Appleby. So, Graham, we're moving forward with our series about doing business with the affluent today. And we're talking really in the field of digital marketing, in particular social media.
Yes, we have one of the world's leading marketing consultants. He's a professor, a mentor, speaker, and trainer. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get his name right here. But it's Vladimer Botsvadze.
Exactly. Thank you very much. And delighted to join this podcast and share my insights today.
Well, we're so grateful that you've agreed to join us. You're a very impressive, I'm going to call you a young man. And tell me, whereabouts do you come from in the world?
I come from Georgia,
oh, wow.
Eastern Europe. So.
Yeah,
but it is one of the oldest wine producing countries, and we love the UK in Georgia.
And likewise, it's a very mutual feeling. But one of your expertise is with social media marketing, digital marketing, and so forth.
Totally.
But you are so well regarded. I mean, the world just loves you. So that's why I'm really delighted you're on our podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful to the UK because when I moved to London in 2009, I was a new kid on the block, and I was 22, building everything from scratch. I was working in downtown London with 20 offices in Shadwell area, and this kind of experience turned out to be foundational for my success, And I love the UK because, if you put in the work, results will come. And another reason why I love the UK is that nepotism doesn't exist. So you can move up your way to the top if you put in the work, and consistent action always creates consistent results.
Wow, that's a great phrase. And I might take some issue with you about nepotism. It probably does exist, but only very much at the margins.
Graham, I mean, I have been there, done that in the UK. So
yeah,
so many organizations open the door, and I share my insights. I have grown up as a person, as an influencer, as a thought leader in the UK, and now I work with speakers bureaus in London, like Kruger Cohn, Champion Speakers, and so many other bureaus, and I mentor entrepreneurs and startup owners in creating successful global brands.
Tell me a little bit more about that. I mean, what are the types of companies that you currently work with?
Graham, I currently I wear so many hats, and so when I wake up, it is always a race against time. I work with Fortune 500 brands. I work with speakers bureaus. I'm represented as a speaker by more than top 20 speakers bureaus throughout the world. I work with startup accelerators as a marketing mentor. I'm an advisory board member of Racing Retail. I'm also a jury member of Digital Revolution Awards in the UK. And I have been honored to judge nominations such as Outstanding Contribution to the Microsoft Ecosystem and Tech Star of the Year. At the same time, I'm also a jury member of the Marketing Judging Committee of American Business Awards, TOV Awards in New York City. Okay. And I have been trusted to judge $1 billion marketing projects of Fortune 500 brands. And everyone knows to what extent American brands are firing on all cylinders and moving forward when it comes to marketing.
And where did you get your break into marketing? Was it actually in London, or did
yeah, because I started working in London in business development, and they say that great oaks grow from smaller corns. So then I have been growing by leaps and bounds, and I have had exponential growth in marketing and digital transformation. Also, Twitter gave me such passion for communication, because communication dictates everything we do nowadays. If we don't communicate across 8-10 social media networks, nobody knows us. But I have been in the spotlight, and I have made myself conspicuous through constant content creation, communication, and being audience-centric by nature. By whoever is close to audience is always wins.
Yeah, I have to say it's a very, very impressive growth that you've had, and you digital marketing is something that's happened more or less during that time as well. So you've kind of ridden that flood it's got bigger and bigger. And you were just saying before we started the show that what was good last year in 2021, and it's now 2022, isn't necessarily going to be working for you as well this year.
Yeah, absolutely, Graham. You know, what worked last year no longer works in 2022. I say marketing is evolving rapidly, and my clients throughout the world are driven to understand that social media has become 24/7, 365 commitment. The whole world lives in this device.
Yeah.
And the brands, if brands don't know what's going on in this device, they are out of business because we are in a constant disruption. We remember brands used to be number one, but they are no longer number one, like IBM, Microsoft, MySpace, and also all those big brands, because it's evolving rapidly. For example, why for example, Amazon has been consistent and remained as one of the front runners, because they are close to consumers, you know.
Yes.
So whoever listens to consumers, whoever is close to audience, always wins. Whether I'm a speaker or whether they are like Jeff Bezos or they run like big retail companies, whoever is close to consumers, whoever is in the listening business, always wins. Because, for example, before I start talking at global summits and conferences throughout the world, I listen to my audience, and I learn everything but through comments on social media, because I'm very close to audience, and it is of paramount importance for me to be close and to build a relationship with my tribe.
So is this one of the big lessons then for brands to take heed of, that you have to listen to your customers?
Absolutely. Brands need to storytell and to create content that is in their followers' best interest, not in their best interest. There are two kinds of organizations nowadays. There are marketing and branding organizations and sales organizations. So marketing and branding organizations are oriented on long-term growth, long-term success, and sales organizations are oriented on short-term goals. So people, whoever builds great audience on social media always wins in the long term. I started from scratch. I was nobody. I stood nowhere in 10 years ago, but I'm ranked number one in the world. I'm a jury member. I'm one of the leading movers and shakers in marketing, and I truly take pride in my work.
Yeah, I mean, to get to that position, it's a bit like Kevin in Newcastle. I mean, people see him in Newcastle, slap him on the back and say, "Hey, Kevin, how are you?" But you're like that in the world of marketing.
I'm not sure that necessarily happens, Graham.
So what do you say, Kevin?
Passion is what sets me apart nowadays, because if you check out my recommendations on LinkedIn, everyone outlines my passion in marketing, digital transformation, because I have been working 16 hours a day. I have reinvested every penny in my growth, whereas people at my age, at 33, 34, they keep up with Jonases and they keep up with latest trends. But I don't care about what the rest of the world is doing. The most important thing is that I create my path and I don't follow the crowd. So I build my path. I march to a different drummer, and I know what I'm doing. So success belongs to those who believe in what they are doing and who are outside their comfort zone.
So if you had to advise Kevin and I, the types of things that will make our businesses more successful in the long run, what would you be advising us to do?
First of all, run ads on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere.
Okay.
Because for Shopify, everyone sets up online store on Shopify, because Shopify invested 90% of its marketing money in Facebook advertising. And their revenue they generated $10 billion in revenue.
Wow! For
example, 20 years ago, Amazon was one of the first biggest advertisers on Google AdWords from 2007. So Amazon and Jeff Bezos capitalized on underpriced attention of Google AdWords to grow what Amazon is nowadays. It's all about capitalizing on underpriced attention. Overpriced attention is on TV, print, radio, billboards, but underpriced attention is like Facebook ads, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn.
So, when it comes to TikTok, would you not be sort of saying to the businesses that you're advising, TikTok's really quite a younger audience, Absolutely. And my clients don't tend to be that young, but some of them are. you would still advise me to be on TikTok.
Absolutely.
That's interesting.
We need to be everywhere nowadays, Graham.
Yeah.
To win in the long term, And if we are in excuses that say TikTok's target audience is not for us, is not relevant for us, then we will be driven out of business because we need to be. For example, when MySpace was in its heyday, when MySpace was in its heyday in 2006-7, people used to disregard Facebook. They used to say that Facebook is not my kind of thing. But those people lost because they were focused on MySpace only. So we need to put eggs into different baskets.
Yeah.
One of my favorite idioms is that a mouse that has but one hole is quickly taken.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's really interesting, Greg.
We need to have different holes. We need to put in our eggs in different baskets, and if we depend on only one channel, then it will not be lucrative in the long term.
Got
you, Kevin.
That is really interesting, Graham, because advice that you and I have had in the past would suggest you work out what the best one or two channels in social media are for you, and you become a deep expert in those one or two channels because you don't have enough resource to be everywhere. But what Vladimer is saying, he says that that's probably no longer true, and that's a very dangerous way to go forward.
Actually, my social media strategy has been in the pipeline now because I'm developing my social media strategy when it comes to Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, because I rarely rest on my laurels, because it's evolving rapidly. For example, the active daily learning is number 2 skill by World Economic Forum. And of course, it is a well-deserved skill because we need to learn daily in order to keep up with latest trends in technology, in order to stay competitive in our fields,
Yeah. Active daily
learning.
Is that what the World Economic Forum said?
Yes, absolutely. Because, it's evolving rapidly. Managers, I work now with Fortune 500 brands, and managers don't want to download all these social media applications to understand where their consumers' attention is and how they can listen to their audiences online. Whereas hungry and voracious entrepreneurs are building $1 million companies through content creation through Instagram and TikTok, and they drive those big companies out of business. And Graham, it's all about David versus Goliath.
It is. No, I get that.
Goliath is slow. David is fast. So David beats Goliath in the long term.
But okay, we're a big brand. Mm-hmm. And I've got you in my office, and you're saying, "Look, Graham, you've got this big company, but you need to be in all of these channels, and your guys have to listen to what's being said in all of these channels." That's a bit like having a fire hose and pointing at you and saying, "Listen, isn't there just too much? How do you listen to social media when there's just too much of it?"
Graham, brands need to fire on cylinders. If they are in excuses that they don't want to be on social media, they should not be in business. Market does not care about brands' excuses that they don't want to be on social media.
Yeah.
Why? As they question social media because education is a sinking ship nowadays. Whatever they teach used to work 20 years ago, no longer relevant in 2022. If you check out the MBA programs, you will see that they don't teach personal branding. They don't teach anything about practicality, and practicality is what is missing everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. I can see
Graham,
that you.
Graham, content creation is everything nowadays. Why you have podcasts? Because it works. You know? Because you invite all top experts to your podcast. They share their actionable and practical experiences. That's what is the most. I think we need to become the biggest publisher of information, and we need to position ourselves as BBC, as CNN, as Bloomberg, in order to provide enlightening and informative content to our audiences and our consumers. Because consumers and audiences no longer care about sales pitches. We need to create content. We need to bring Ericsson in Stockholm has amazing podcast series. They invite guests to their episodes, and they create episodes with amazing thought leaders, digital transformation experts. And it's for example, India has more than 100 unicorns, Graham.
Yeah, 100 unicorns.
Yes. Wow. So why? Because Indian startups understand the importance of content creation and marketing and practicality, because they have a podcast, they fire on all cylinders, they go into overdrive, they leave no stone unturned. Whereas my clients in Europe are debating why people should spend much time on social media, and they question social media.
No, well, it's funny because when I asked you that question earlier, I could tell you took a bit of an intake of breath because you're thinking, oh God, not that question again. It just felt like you were frustrated with that question.
No, I'm not frustrated, Graham. It's all about who is hungry in this industry, you know.
Okay.
If you are determined, if you are determined and dogged, determined and driven to create content at scale and to put out 100 pieces of content across 8-10 social media networks, the whole world will come to you to work with you, because everything is all about brand awareness. For example, why we choose Nike? Because of its strong brand, and not like a Nike CEO knocked out on our doors and promoted his product to buy Nike, right? Because Nike has strong brand. We need to be in a brand building business. We need to forget to be in the sales business, because everybody disregards sales people, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll buy that to a degree, because I, as a direct response person looking at sales through direct response marketing, you would say, no, focus on brand, because brand will bring people to you.
Yes, absolutely. And I have spearheaded one of the fastest growing personal brands on a shoestring budget. It cost me nothing to create content and distribute across social media channels. It used to cost a fortune to reach global audiences 20 and 30 years ago.
Sure.
Whereas it cost nothing. It cost nothing to download Twitter. It cost nothing to download TikTok, Instagram, all the social media channels, and the whole world lives in this device. There are almost 8 billion people in the world, and 4.6 billion people use social media channels actively. And there are 5 billion internet users. The whole world, we live in a mobile-only world, Graham, you know?
I take this in the spirit in which it's meant, but does anybody ever disagree with you?
Well, you know, people who disagree with me go out of business.
I love it.
That's a good answer.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
We are in a constant disruption, Graham.
Yeah,
we are in a constant disruption. If people don't want to, if people want to hide under rocks or to live in their ivory towers, they should. It's their choice. But if they want to listen to me and to put in the work and to hit the ground running and to create content at scale, they will win in the long term. And now, why I work with Kruger-Cohn, champion speakers, all American speakers, all bureaus, accelerators, and why? Because of my practicality and strong personal brand. Because I have spearheaded one of the fastest growing personal brands, and I position myself as CNN, as Bloomberg, and I have become the greatest publisher of information on social media.
Wow. Let me just tell you what Terence Mowry said about you. He said, Vladimir is the global authority on digital marketing, an award-winning social media strategist, brand evangelist, keynote speaker, blogger, professor, and consultant. In a world of distraction, Vladimir quickly helps you cut through the barrage of noise, and you can actually focus on results. So basically, you are
Terence recommended me 6 years ago, and I have been going from strength to strength, and I have taken the marketing world by storm. And Terence knew in his bones what I was going to become in 2016. You know.
Wow. I mean, there's no question your knowledge is very, very impressive. How can you sort of give us, say, 2 or 3 things that really ordinary businesses can do? You've got the knowledge, there's no question. Sure. But what is it that other lesser mortals like Kevin, and me, what is it that we can do to improve our businesses?
First of all, strong presence on Google, because your media interview is a walking advertisement for you.
Yeah,
I have been recommended more than 30 times on the web, and my each media interview is a walking advertisement. So people discover me through Google. So I start winning through Google, For example, you should get interviewed, for example, in Authority Magazine, Irish Tech News, the Billion Success, Nutfluence, all major publications on the web for free. And they invite people like you, enthusiastic people, to get in featured and to share your success story with them, So second is a robust presence on social media,
Right. Okay.
Because it does not, for example, only presence. If we put all our eggs into LinkedIn, then it doesn't work, because we need to be on Instagram, we need to be on Twitter, we need to be on Facebook page, we need to create content, we need to distribute our podcast episodes, So we need to fire on all cylinders, go into overdrive. And people great oaks grow from small acorns, and big things have small beginnings in business.
Suppose that says that not all of our audience are going to be in the same place.
No, because
we're homing in on maybe affluent folks, and we're moving in on very small communities that might be the avatar for a particular product. Because let's face it, we're talking affluent, so we're already in the top tiny percent of the population. Then we niche down to the particular products that they're interested in. We're then saying, well, okay, some of them might be Instagram enthusiasts, some of them might be Facebook enthusiasts, some of them might be LinkedIn enthusiasts. Mm-hmm. We've got to try and hit them all.
Well, it is of paramount importance to have presence across social media platforms. And if we are open-minded, we need to be open-minded, and we need to listen to experts, thought leaders, to learn from the best, because I also learn from my colleagues, I don't live in my ivory towers, because I'm in the listening business. I listen to my audience, and it helped me a lot. Terence also helped me a lot in gaining ground and going places. So I have been sitting the first year, and I'm now a high man of the totem pole because of my practicality. I listen to everyone, I learn from everyone, and this has been a bedrock of my success,
He called you a true professional, which is obvious. It comes across in spades. But the thing that I'm interested in,
yes,
and I find it really difficult to get my head around, is that there must be, I don't know, 15, 20 social media networks, Snapchat, all that.
Graham, I have my presence across all social media platforms. I'm not in excuses. I have my presence on Blogger, WordPress, Tumblr, everywhere. Because I use every channel to my advantage, because what works on Tumblr does not work on WordPress. So I have different strategy for each channel. So I capitalize on every channel to my success, to my advantage, to drive my success, to accelerate my progress,
Oh, give us an example then. Okay. You as in your personal brand, what do you do on, Instagram?
Okay. On Instagram, I posted more than 60,000 times to have earned more than 10,000 followers. And I use hashtags, 30 hashtags in each post to drive success.
You've posted 60,000 times?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You can
that must be several times a day.
The proof of the pudding is in the eating, right?
Yeah.
So check out my link, Instagram, and you will see the number of posts I have posted.
We will. And
this is I have sent 100,000 tweets to have earned 56,000 followers organically. Honest to God, I never bought any followers on social media. You can check out Twitter analytics. You can check out Twitter analytics, and you will see that overwhelming majority, like a 98% or 99% of my followers are real on Twitter. So I pushed constant creation. Authenticity is what sets me apart, Graham. Authenticity, Whereas my colleagues on Twitter has like a 15, 20 fake accounts to retweet themselves.
Yeah. No, obviously, there's a big conversation.
I know that a good name is better than a full purse, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so reputation is everything nowadays, Graham. I built up my reputation through authenticity, communication, hard work, and backbone. And they say that success depends on your backbone, not on wishbone. So I have always put in the work in order to gain ground, go places, and move up in the world.
So okay. But 100,000 tweets, 100,000 Instagram posts.
In 10 years, 100,000 tweets in 10 years.
That's still 10,000. And that's quite a few hundred per
because
day.
I have been working 16 hours a day.
I get that.
Myself.
But
I quit rat race. Listen, I quit rat race, and I wanted to follow my passion, not to quit rat race. So now every project I work on is a race against time, and my career is in the fast lane. Because of my passion, practicality, and this has been the dream I have been chasing,
And because of all this activity across all these social media platforms, who's been knocking on your door? I mean, presumably you've attracted people to you, because
absolutely.
There's no point in doing all this unless you are attracting the clients that you want.
Yeah, I have been in the limelight. I work with global speakers bureaus and like Asia Retail Summit, Startup Grind, the AI Conversational Summit, World Marketing Summit. I'm invited as a speaker to World Marketing Summit, and I will be speaking alongside Philip Kotler in Istanbul.
Right.
So I mean, what should I do? I have just become a speaker of Speakers Associates in London.
Yeah.
Because I have a strong personal brand. I believed in myself, and I have gone into overdrive to have earned everything by dint of my hard work. That's why I love pedaling my own canoe and standing on my own 2 feet, and I take pride in my work.
And do you find that there's anybody else that's going even faster than you, or are you actually the same as Lewis Hamilton? You're the fastest F1 driver.
Well, I constantly push self-education. I don't care. I don't compare myself to others.
Okay.
I compare myself to who I was yesterday, and
that's fair.
Self improvement is of paramount importance.
Yeah.
I don't have family now. I'm 34. I work 16 hours a day. If I had a family, I would not manage to kill two birds with one stone: family, kids, career, interviews, events, everything.
There must be a queue of young ladies outside your door saying,
I don't care. I don't care about, because I don't have time for ladies now.
Oh,
because I'm focused on my career now. 16 hours a day, Graham. 16 hours a day. I'm very committed. What should I do? I mean, to start dating girls and to give all my time to them and then waste my opportunities in business?
No, I understand that. That's
so I chose career growth. I chose career growth over girls and headaches, because I don't have time now with girls and to give them presents and to bring them to Monaco and Mallorca or Spain, because I don't keep up with Jonas's. I'm now focused on my career.
Yeah, I understand.
Because I'm on the verge of signing a 1 million book deal with a top book publisher. What should I do? I push envelope every single day.
I see. Okay, give the kind of things that you and forgive Kevin is usually a lot better at research than I am, but the kind of research that we would do is we'd go onto your Instagram. If I went onto your Instagram now, and I'm not clever enough to do that straight away, but what would I see from you? What kind of post?
You will see content that is in followers' best interest. For example, motivational quotes, trends about marketing, my achievements, everything. Because I share. Transparency is everything these days, so I have nothing to hide. And I share my success journey with my followers. And this is what I love, to share my journey with other people, and we are in this journey together.
The one thing that another person on your website called Dorinda Brown said that you're an impressive communicator. Well, we kind of know that already. And you demonstrate a depth of knowledge in digital and online strategy that is of expert capacity with a focus on results. Now, if you were hired by, a big corporation, a big brand, how would you deliver them results?
Through workshops, trainings, mentoring, because I also mentor C-suite executives. Everyone is interested in growing personal brands. So I share my actionable and practical strategies, how they grow their personal brands from scratch, what kind of content works, how they should communicate with audiences, to what extent they should post each day on every social media channel, what time they should post, and etc. So
Okay.
So a winning marketing strategy is all about a balance of practicality and storytelling. We need to storytell, we need to connect with the audience, we need to communicate. Because if we don't show gratitude, if we don't communicate with our audience, we should not be in business, because we need to communicate. Communication dictates everything what people do.
Do you engage with people who engage with your posts, or are you so busy getting the content out?
I always engage. I always show gratitude on Twitter, that they retweet to me, they like my posts, and you know, we built great things together in business. Teamwork always makes a dream work, you know, and Twitter gave me a passion for listening, you know, of communication, because and you know, together we make impossible possible, you know.
I don't know about you, Kevin, but one of my heroes is Dan Kennedy, and in September I'm going to go and see him speak. If you, Vladimir, if you looked at your the inspirations around you, if you said you had to have one person who was the most inspirational person in your life, who would that be?
I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah. Okay. You have you met Gary?
A few times at conferences.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, those people inspired me. Simon Sinek inspired me. Jay Shetty inspired me. We started together like 10 years ago, Jay and me, and we follow each other. And he used to work for Accenture in London, and then he moved to United States, and who was hired by Ariana Huffington, and he interviewed entire Hollywood and celebrities. So well-deserved success for Jay, because he put his heart and soul into every project, and I would love to congratulate him on his great success, you know.
You're mixing in such well-known levels here that you're learning from people who are really very good at what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And actually, you're almost like learning yourself. It's almost like you're going down a hill and you're learning all the time. The ball's getting bigger and bigger and bigger because you're just taking so much in. And of course, the brands that hire you are getting somebody who's better and better and better. When does it end?
Well, you know, what should I say? I mean, I have achieved #1 global ranking by Thinkers 360, and this platform ranked me #1 global marketing thought leader in the world, according to my strong presence as a consultant, speaker, thought leader, analyst, you know, and you know, I have been putting my heart and soul into everything. You know, I have been winning so many awards. You know, so many organizations recognized me as a leading thought leader and influencer. For example, I'm an advisory board member of Wrestling Retail that recognized me among top 100 global retail influencers, and I'm an advisory board member of the council. And I also joined so many accelerators, and I share my actionable insights with startup owners to help them understand where consumers' attention is, because entrepreneurs are building startups and they need publicity. They need to have a strong presence, robust presence on social media. How to connect? Because if they have a great product and nobody notices them, then nothing happens. So they win attention. Marketing, Graham, is all about winning attention across 18 social media channels. I have been winning attention. I have been in the spotlight, and I have been making myself conspicuous because of great personal brand and content creation that is in my followers' best interest. So
on your website, you have a little like a diagram that shows that it's called Vladimir's profile. And you've got something like 130,000 followers across these social media. Now, they're not just regular kind of people. These people are business people, and so they're really your audience, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And you know, oddly enough, this week I'm a trustee of a charity, and we've just hired a new social media manager, and she's very, very good at Instagram. And she has 134,000 people on Instagram. And because she does sort of makeup things, and she has a couple of other businesses, and she's going to be working with us for a little while. To get that level of interest in your own personal brand is a lot of work. I know that because you told us that. But for you, you've got it across Twitter, Facebook, something called Angel List, which I'm not particularly sure
what. It is for startups and entrepreneurship, angel investing,
Okay. And Flipboard, Medium, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you've got 25,000 followers. That's amazing. That's even more than Kevin.
That's about double me.
I have, Graham, I have been tracking my progress since 2014. For example, from month to month, I have been tracking what kind of progress I have in each network, So, sure. For example, I have, if you know Cloud, which was a social media influence score, I had 80 score in 2018. So, wow. So my cred score, for example, cred recognized me as a top 1% global social media influencer. So cred also interviewed me on its platform. So I have achieved, for example, cred scores like 968 for influence and 9 for influence. So I truly take pride in my work because my results speak for themselves, and I have posted, I have engaged with my audience, and I have communicated across 10 social media networks in order to achieve everything. And nobody has brought me anything. I have gone into the world and earned everything by into my hard work. So I have a well-deserved success nowadays, and I'm a jury member, I'm an advisory board member, I'm a speaker, and I have been invited to podcast episodes, and I have been featured, for example, in C-Suite magazine, World Biz magazine in London, and its editor has praised me to the skies because of my strong personal brand.
I don't know about you, Kevin, but Vladimir is such an inspirational individual. He's just got on and done it. I mean, to get such a high clout score, a cred score that off the charts at 87 on LinkedIn. Come on,
huge scores, Graham.
I think you're paying everybody, Vladimir.
People buy followers. Graham. People buy followers. People have 20, 25 fake accounts to retweet themselves. And I'm tired of this nonsense. What's going on is marketing world. And what sets me apart is my practicality. If you check out my recommendations, my endorsements on LinkedIn, everything, my media interviews, my awards, and lock, stock, and barrel, you will see authenticity has been foundational for my success.
No.
Vladimir, talking authenticity, talking about fake accounts and things like that. What's your view then on automation tools? They used to be all the rage.
I'm against automation tools because the only tool that impress me is Brandwatch, because it is a consumer listening platform and it allows you to have a bird's eye view of your consumers, what they are tweeting, what you can listen to your competitors and make smarter decisions to win in the long term. But Analytica also impressed me, because Analytica in 2015 recognized me as a top 100 B2B marketing influencer. And it has been like a foundational for my success that I have been going from strength to strength, and I have been leaving no stone unturned. And I love, that such amazing organization can recognize marketing influencers, bloggers, vloggers, and they give them hope to achieve more in the long term.
You are. You mentioned earlier that you were on an AI panel, or you're due to be on an AI panel. Are you worried, like Elon Musk is worried, about artificial intelligence?
AI is nowadays everywhere, touches every sector nowadays. Jobs are automated nowadays. People are losing jobs. And I have not lost my job yet because I can't be disrupted, because I'm a speaker, I'm a mentor, I share my practical, actionable insights with audiences to help.
But are you worried more generally?
Absolutely. Everyone should worry. Everyone should worry because we see in the Audi factory now they have like AI robots working instead of human beings. So it is a tip of the iceberg, and people are reading the handwriting on the wall because of AI.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go and where the point comes where humans are going to lose. I don't know whether that's already passed.
And one of the hottest trends, Graham, nowadays is metaverse. Because we are in Web 2 nowadays, and we are moving to Web 3. So where Web 3 will amalgamate physical and digital. So what we are doing nowadays in in reality we will be doing in Web3, because Mark Zuckerberg is not satisfied with this device because it is limiting. So we will have a sense. We will have a sense that we are with our friends, we are hanging out, and whatever we love doing, right? We will be doing with a vengeance in Web3.
That's scary a little bit.
A very scary thought.
I mean, it's evolving rapidly, Graham.
I get that. I get that. I don't disagree. It worries me. I think that, if we're now virtual, we're not together. I think, are you not in Dubai?
Yes.
You're in Dubai, and Kevin's in Newcastle. I'm in West Yorkshire. We're not together, but we feel like we're together.
Yes.
So I can see that there is a benefit in that. But there's also, it would be better still if we were all together in a pub having
Absolutely.
It'd be so much nicer.
I used to, when I was 22 in London, I was job hunting, and I lived on the outskirts of London in Egham in the Staines. So I used to work for a Chinese restaurant on the outskirts, close to Heathrow. So I love everything in the UK. When I connect with people in the UK, I feel like that we are cut from the same cloth,
yes,
because
definitely.
we speak the same language, we are on the same wavelengths, and I find a lot in common with my great friends in the UK, because everyone is driven to innovate, and I think that I truly understand why, for example, the UK is no longer part of the of European Union, because I think Premier Minister was right when he said that we need to think differently, and if we see how they think in Europe, it's not my cup of tea, so I don't find similarities with people, for example, in Europe, because I find more similarities with people in the UK because they speak my language, they are on my wavelength. So it is always amazing in the long term.
You've got my vote, and they had my vote and Brexit. So basically, but I think you must have done your research.
I love how.
Yeah, what I can say is that you are just an amazing individual. I think you've already become one of our friends, and what we're going to do is we'll have you back on another time, because sadly we have run to the end of the podcast this time.
I do have one more question.
But Kevin, you have your.
I have been in the transport of delight, sharing my insights with you, and without a shadow of a doubt, we are already great friends.
No,
Vladimer,
that's for sure.
You're talking about work here, putting in a lot of hard work here, 16-hour days and so on. Yeah. What sort of team have you got around you supporting you?
My friends are mostly on the same mission as me. Circle is important nowadays, because I only surround myself with people who support me.
Yeah.
And if people keep up with Jonas's and they wasting their time, they can't be in my circle. Because I'm very finicky. I'm very finicky and very choosy when it comes to people.
And you should be. You should be.
Because my surrounding affects me enormously. I need to be.
Do you have a staff? Do you have staff that help you?
Nobody. I'm a one-man band, so I handle my own canoe. I do everything. Everything. Graham, I do media interviews, partnerships, so everything myself. I'm a one-man band, and I take pride in my work.
Yeah.
That my number one global ranking is a jewel in the crown, and I earned everything by dint of my hard work without anybody's help.
Amazing.
Because my parents, my father is a renowned professor in Georgia, and they say that a great father is worth more than 100 schoolmasters. So it is in my DNA that I'm successful nowadays, because my parents in Georgia sold 2 houses to send me to United States and in the UK to grow myself and expand my horizons. So they gave me their best, and it was inherited in me.
Yeah.
Genetically, it was inherited in me that my father is a successful professor. I'm a successful thought leader. I'm really rest on my laurels, and I push myself. I push to the limit every single day, and I push envelope because I can't rest on my laurels. It is a very competitive world nowadays. If you slow down, you will go out of business.
Yep. Very strong message. Thank you.
I just think you are one of the most impressive people we've ever had on the podcast, because your just thirst for success is unbound. And
Graham, I come from Georgia. Georgia was part of Soviet Union for more than 70 years, and I hate that kind of system. What Soviet Union built in my country, and my country has been an independent country for 30 years now. So my country is a young, fledgling country, innovating, moving forward, aspiring to join NATO, European Union. We love UK. We love the Western world. Everyone who wants Georgia to be successful and independent loves the Western world. So I have grown myself in the UK as a person in the United States, and I come, and UK is my home away from home, and I love my friends.
The one thing that we haven't asked you, but we should really ask you, is when you were in the UK, which football team did you follow?
Well, it is a $1 million question.
You're not gonna get away. You're gonna have to tell us which one it was.
Well, I mostly loved. I mostly loved Chelsea in London.
Oh,
no. But anyway, it was going to be Chelsea. I knew it was going to be Chelsea.
Sorry for raining on your parade. Raining, but it is my.
No, I get you. No, they're a good teim. On that bombshell,
which team do you support?
Oh well, I'm Leeds United, and Kevin is Newcastle United. So
Newcastle, Temur Ketsbaya played for Newcastle. You remember, Kevin?
Yep.
And and he was like a ball of fire. He was a ball of fire at Newcastle.
We refer to him as the madman.
Yes, you remember his celebration?
Oh yes, kicking the hoardings. Yes.
Yeah. So Temur epitomized Georgian spirit. He's a fighter. He's a forward thinker, and we love Timur.
Well, on that footballing note, we're going to draw this conversation.
Graham, George Kinkladze.
Kinkladze, yeah. I remember him.
Pride and glory of Georgia, and also pride and glory of Manchester City.
Yeah, I know, but Leeds United are all I care about. But anyway, point is, I am very grateful to you, Vladimir, for being a guest on the next 100 Days podcast. Thank you.
So, Graham, what a bundle of energy.
Bundle of energy, absolutely. I really just
Temur Ketsbaya, that really does sum it up. And he was the mad Georgian.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that. Vladimir he's made such a success of his life. Very determined. Oddly enough, today, Kevin, I was on my walk. I was listening to Dan Kennedy talk about making the most of your time, and there are various tips that. This is a podcast from some time ago, but basically, one of the things about Kennedy is he's famous for not wasting time. So basically, but a lot of people around him do. They'll turn up late, they'll go early, but he's very, very strict with his time. Vladimir's got to be the same type of person.
What to be?
Because he's achieving so much, having a presence right across social media, and to be seen by others, to be amongst the top people on social media, that's some achievement for, what is a relatively young man.
Yeah. And there's an interesting thing there about Vladimir, and he told us that he's just by himself. He's got nobody working for him.
Yeah.
Now, I'm being told by a lot of social media folk at the moment that if you're going to put your brand out on social media, well, you've got to find an expert in Instagram who won't be the same person as the expert in Facebook, who won't be the same person as the expert in email. And you need this great big team of skills around you. Now, Vladimir is effectively saying the opposite, which is really interesting.
We've just hired Meronisa, and Meronisa Raja, who, if you're going to check her profile out on Instagram, you'll find she's a remarkable young woman, but I would want for her to be not just expert in Instagram for us, but in Facebook and in various other media as well. And what I've learned from this podcast is that actually we shouldn't ignore anything, and particularly a venue like the town hall, where we should be representing all residents, and businesses and so forth. We should be everywhere. So that's the story and the takeaway. But it's just the relentless nature that he has.
Yeah, and definitely that relentless nature, but not ignoring anything, Graham. And we're constantly talking about niching down. Finding a niche, building an avatar, working out where that avatar hangs out. There's a danger in taking that too far, that you focus all of your social media effort in one place.
Yeah, I think the lesson for marketing to the affluent, if you like, is that don't assume that they're all hanging out in the same old places. They're not.
No,
and
they're not.
And his story is, spread your bets effectively. Spread your bets.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about a hobby space that I'm involved in. We had Justin Noble on the podcast a while ago from Scale Model Scenery. And one place that affluent individuals will spend a lot of money is on things to do with their hobbies. Yeah. Now, I'm thinking about, well, where are those individuals that might be people that I talk to, Justin's customers? Well, there's a very, very big YouTube presence.
Yeah.
Justin runs his own website, runs his own forum, which has got a huge number of members. Then there are Facebook groups, and you wouldn't just be in one Facebook group. There are probably 30 or 40 different Facebook groups all around that one hobby space.
Yeah.
Then there's Instagram. There are definitely people on Instagram. There's definitely a very active Twitter community as well.
Yeah.
Not quite so sure about TikTok. Not quite sure that the age group of the individuals has quite got TikTok sorted, but do you ignore TikTok at your peril?
Yeah, I think sometimes the TikTok reels or whatever they're called feature on Instagram. I have Instagram, but I haven't. I had TikTok, but I came off. But you see some of the TikTok things on Instagram. It's almost, I don't know, cross-channel sharing. I don't know quite how it all works, but the thing about it is that I've noticed a number of business individuals going on to TikTok, and you have to say they will pick up clients. They're pretty unique.
Graham, one thing I remember you saying to me a long time ago. We were talking about the yellow pages.
Yeah.
A trade journal or a trade document that used to be very popular back in the day. You wanted a builder to do something, you pick the yellow pages up, look through, so who was there. These days you go nowhere near it, you look on Google instead. But if you've still got something that's equivalent to yellow pages and you're the one person that's still there, you probably get some work for it.
It's about a fifth the size, but it's still distributed. And so the advertising rates are probably acceptable to get yourself into there, because like you say, you could stand out like you could take a full page there and really stand out for not an awful lot of money. So I think that there are some messages here, but the big message I think from Vladimer is be everywhere, and particularly when you're building a personal brand. And I think that's one of the things that he's talked about today, because he's gone from, well, effectively not quite zero, but to hero in a relatively short period of time. I'm big delighted that he's joined us today.
But I think the other takeaway is be authentic. There are a lot, as he said, there are lots of people out there that have got 20 fake accounts.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out there that are doing loads of things by automation. He's not. He's being authentic in every single thing that he does. And I think if you really want to connect with your audience, you've got to be authentic. And it's about listening. It's about talking to them. We call it social media. It's not. It's social networking. Networking is two-way.
Yeah, it is. And, it comes to something, but when a brand like British Airways says that you're a brilliant influencer, he's achieved something. And again, he's still a young man. So congratulations to his parents for backing him and setting him off on this journey. It would be nice for him just to take a bit of time out and take one of those lovely ladies to Monaco. That would be nice for him. But I suspect he won't do that because he's still got a few pages to write. But on that bombshell, and after a brilliant podcast with Vladimer Botsvadze, I've been Graham Arrowsmith.
I've been Kevin Appleby. Goodbye.
Goodbye.